Victory Hall Motif process begins at the heart of the physicality of the piece.
We all stepped into the space, and it was a way of surrendering as the performer, not feeling like you had to come in with any preconceived notion of who your character was or who the other characters were, how you were expected to be physically and emotionally. It's a way of sort of neutralizing everyone in the ensemble and equalizing at the same time.
Opera in the 21st century is starting to be a more sort of dynamic art form, one that involves more movement for singers, potentially. And I think a lot of the time there can be a sense of singers feeling threatened by being asked to do styles of movement that potentially are hard to incorporate into a vocal technique or are just simply not the way their body is used to moving. So the great thing about Motif is that all of the movement that we generate in shows that can end up seeming quite dance-like or quite physical, all of that gesture, all of that original material is developed by the performers themselves. This means that it's all within their own comfort level. It sits within their own physical body as a possibility.
It's a process of learning what the physicality can be in me and how that can be applied to the character, to the dramatic content.
Something as mundane as putting a coffee mug away or making food.
Motif is a way of connecting very deeply on a level that in some way is almost kind of like lizard brain, right? It can be very animalistic, which allows for us as singers who, use our bodies so much to create sound to really connect to the music in a new way, to connect to our colleagues in a new way, and to take these ideas and share them with one another.
The motif that you have created also becomes common property in a production, that everyone can use it. Every step is carefully calculated, the whole movement is repeatable. And that is a parallel to a musical motif, where a set melody or harmonic gestures are there to evoke a certain emotion, be related to a particular character. And so visually, it gives the audience something to hang on to and to realize that, oh, that has happened before, either from the same person or by another person, and how that itself is a relationship of the two characters. And the interesting thing about doing motif is, for those gestures, you're not necessarily thinking about the emotion of the character. Sometimes you're just thinking about putting your coffee mugs away. But to the audience, it's a completely different experience.
What if a singer's physicality and embodiment of a role was allowing them to illuminate what they were doing vocally, what they're doing musically? What if those two things came together?
This motif technique has helped singers feel like they can spend more time, much like actors do when they're preparing for a role, to go deeper into the material.